literature or in the field work are a beginning, not even a beginning. It's just a very dim light in darkness.
Tako da ova istraživanja zapravo predstavljaju sami početak. Ovo je jedan tračak svjetlosti koji nam treba da osvjetlimo sva ova pitanja.
We are investigating a building that is triangular. It's a pyramid.
Mi istražujemo objekat, zgradu koja je trouglasta. Ovdje je riječ o piramidi.
We are probing.
Dakle, mi vršimo ispitivanja na pojedinim mjestima.
And we are supposed to find walls that obey the angle of slope of the pyramid.
Mi treba da pronađemo određene uglove koji poštuju zakonitost tog geometrijskog tijela piramide.
But we are finding almost horizontal paved terraces.
U slučaju piramide mjeseca mi nalazimo gotovo horizontalne popločane terase.
The opposition, and I am going to be very neutral in this, will say, well, these are natural.
Opozicija, odnosno oponenti projektu, mogu da kažu da je ovo prirodno.
When you examine these terraces, you find that they are man-made.
Međutim, kada ispitate ove terase, vi možete zaključiti da ih je radio čovjek.
And they are made with great skill. People who knew what they were doing.
I da ih je radio čovjek, odnosno kultura koja je imala vrlo razvijena znanja i koji su znali šta rade.
Well, we have this table is one of these terraces. Fine, we look at it, we are convinced that it is man-made. The geologists will agree with, or we will agree with them, that this is their job. But over these terraces, we have a thick layer of about 1 meter and 10 centimeters of clay, which cover them.
Tako, recimo, uzmemo na primjer, imamo ovaj stolp koji je jedna terasa i mi ćemo se sa geolozima složiti da ih je radila ljudska ruka. Međutim, iznad toga su slojevi gline koji to prikrivaju.
Now, clay is not man-made.
Glinu nije stvorio čovjek.
Over this 110 centimeters, there's another terrace that's paved and it's man-made.
Iznad tih slojeva gline od 110 cm se nalazi nova terasa koju je popločao i radio čovjek.
So, the logical thing to think at this point, it's not conclusive, it's far from the conclusion, is that there was one layer which was covered, paved by one generation, and then the clay formed above it, and it was paved another time by another generation. Where the differences in time is in generations or in thousands of years, it's for our geologists to explain.
Ono što se može zaključiti u ovom momentu, u ovoj preliminarnoj fazi, je da su te terase rađene ljudskom rukom. Zatim iznad gline su nove terase koje rađene ljudskom rukom. Pitanje je da li su one udaljene nekoliko generacija ili nekoliko hiljada godina.
So if we get a plain piece of paper and we draw the outline of the Bosnian pyramid of the sun and we make points of the location of what the work that has been done by photographs, arrows, drawing, or so forth. We need so many of these investigations or so many of these points to correlate between what's happening here and what's happening 200 meters on the same level.
Tako, ako uzmete komad papira i tu nacrtate liniju Bosanske piramide Sunca, dakle čitave te strukture, onda uzmate određeni broj tačaka, vi ih morate spojiti da bi se došlo do odgovora šta se dešava na udaljenosti od recimo 200 metara.
Dr. Samir showed me yesterday at the Pyramid of the Moon one of these terraces, and he drew my attention to that every 5 meters there's a rise of 5 centimeters to the next terrace, and then 5 centimeters raise and a next terrace. And he very, very wisely has concluded that this is part of a circular ramp, a spiral ramp that goes around the pyramid.
Ja sam jučer pokazao podnožje zapadne strane Bosanske piramide mjeseca i tamo je očigledno da svakih 5-6 metara postoji kao neka vrst stepenice visoka 5 cm, tako da one formiraju jednu kružnu rampu, odnosno spiralnu rampu koja ide oko piramide mjeseca.
So this afternoon, while my wife goes shopping, I'm going to go to the Pyramid of the Moon, and I'm going to do some research on the leveling of this spiral ramp that goes around the pyramid.
Tako da ću ovo popodne, dok moja supruga ode u kupovinu, ja se vratiti na Bosansku piramidu mjeseca da bih izvršio određena mjerenja na toj spiralnoj rampi.
Okay, that's fine. So if I discover that it's a spiral ramp or it's not a spiral ramp, it does not help with the shape of the pyramid.
Bez obzira šta pronađem, još uvijek to ne utiče na geometriju piramide.
Because the pyramid needs a wider panorama of vision to be able to correlate all these portions together. We are finding horizontal. We need a slope, because the pyramid is a slope. You look at it from a distance, it's a slope. It is a very good geometrical form that is in front of us. We need to understand it. I cannot digest so far all the information that I've been told, the presentations that have been privately shown to me. It's too much. But I need to get my grip on something that will help me continue, go in the right direction. The spiral is not going to help me. I need some other evidence. I need to seek geological advice. I want somebody to tell me about the time of the buildup of these various steps that are below the man-made terraces. What's the span of time? This is, of course, very, very important for the time being. But for history, the problem becomes much more complicated, because we have to find pottery, we have to find human remains, we have to find stone implements, we have to find God knows what that can connect these pyramids with the history and with the human activities.
Govoreći o Bosanskoj piramidi mjeseca, dr. Nabil kaže da se moraju nastaviti ispitivanja. Ono će otići, pokušati da shvati kako se dobije ovaj geometrijski oblik piramide, koji je očigledan, da postoji onaj nagib koji je također očigledan, pravilna geometrijska forma. Samo postojanje spirale neće mu puno pomoći, on mora doći do više podataka, mora se doći do podataka kao što su keramika, kao što su predmeti, kao što su ljudski ostaci, da se smjesti u određeni vremenski period. U ovom momentu on je primio jako mnogo informacija, jako mnogo različitih analiza koje smo mu prezentirali na prezentacijama i na licu mjesta, i on mora pokušati da dođe do odgovora kako su ove kamene građevine iz prošlosti građene sa kojom idejom i dizajnom.
Well, I think you have to tell me to stop talking, otherwise I will go on.
Tunnels.
Okay, now we have another problem. It's not enough that we have a problem with the pyramids, we have another new problem. Well, it's not new, it's new for me. the tunnels.
Sad imamo još jedan problem. Ne samo da imamo ove velike piramide, nego imamo i tunele, podzemne tunele.
Well, one tunnel which points at an angle to the pyramid, and that starts at the river and goes in the direction of the pyramid, probably under the houses of Visico, is one question. Inside, there are blocks, monoliths, there are arrows, and there are certain marks which are of extreme importance. Now, this is scratching the surface of history. This is a clue to the historical question of the tunnel.
On sad govori o jednom od tunela gdje se nalaze određeni kameni blokovi, ploče, nalaze simboli, znakovi koji su od jako velike historijske važnosti, ali ovo je tek grebanje po površini, sami početak istraživanja.
Well, that is 1 kilometer. 1 kilometer is great. I mean, what about another one, which is tens of kilometers, that starts at the leather factory?
Yeah, leather factory is 1 kilometer. Ravne is several kilometers.
Well, excuse me, because I have not digested I have not studied the lessons that you have taught me. I'm very sorry. So,
Dakle, imamo ovdje
there's another tunnel. Yeah.
Dva tunela koja se ovdje istražuju. Jedan je tunel KTK koji prolazi od kožarskog kombinata i koji 1 kilometar dužinom se kreće prema Bosanskoj piramidi Sunca, a drugi je Ravne koji ide kilometrima ispod zemlje, ispod kuća.
It's a network of tunnels. It's a hypogea. It's a labyrinth. It is, you can call it whatever you want to call it, because the main tunnel goes on and it branches at some points into 3 branches, at other points into one branch, or it crosses another tunnel that goes across. The amazing thing about these...
To je mreža tunela ispod zemlje, riječ je o pravom kompleksu, pravom labirintu ispod zemlje. I onda poredi sa Hypogeum u Malti, koja je također mreža podzemnih tunela u Malti, i on kaže imate glavni tunel, imate sporedne tunele koji se spajaju, koji idu u različitim direkcijama, neki se vraćaju natrag prema glavnom tunelu, tako da tu riječ o jednoj nevjerovatnoj podzemnoj mreži.
So, the amazing thing is that these tunnels that branch off the main course of the tunnel are filled, and there is an embankment of large rounded stones that close this branch of the tunnel.
Ono što je posebno interesantno, to da su ovi sporedni tuneli zatrpani.
This reminds me,
materijalom, a onda na kraju postoji zid koji je rađen od okruglog kamenja i zatvara taj tunel. Ovo ga podsjeća na dimenziju of...
Yeah. This reminds me very much of a parallel. You know, Egypt, or the Egyptians, are very religious people, whether they were in the past or in present. We are very much Muslims today. In the past, they were very much with the ancient Egyptian religions.
Ovo ga jako podsjeća na jednu paralelu sa egipatskom civilizacijom. Egipćani su uvijek bili religiozni.
Herodotus said that the Egyptians are the most religious people in the world.
Ja, Herodot je rekao da su Egipćani najreligiozniji ljudi na svijetu.
Now, in a place called Tun al-Jabal and in other sites, but mainly Tun al-Jabal, this is in Middle Egypt, there is a system of tunnels which are under the desert surface.
U Egiptu, u srednjem Egiptu, koji se zove Tunel Gabel, se nalazi takav sistem podzemnih tunela koji se nalazi ispod kamene pustinje.
The purpose was that the Egyptians paid pilgrim to the shrine of the god Tot, Hermes.
Svrha je bila da su Egipćani dali počast bogu Hermesu, bogu Totu.
So as they made this pilgrim to the temple of Hermes, there was the tunnels where they deposited in jars mummified ibis birds, mummified hawks, and so forth.
I oni su